Hi guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Jodie Arias case. As we all know, that took forever to come to trial and took forever to finish. So, what's your thoughts on this girl? Crazy or what? No, she did a terrible crime, gruesome crime, killed the man over and over again. And she had no remorse. And she wasn't even his girlfriend. She's just obsessed with him. They don't even live in the same state. But she went out of her way and planned the whole thing because she wasn't getting her own way. He was moving on and she didn't like it. And she wasn't going to be in his life because he had no plans on marrying her. What I think is he liked her. Yes, he did. He did like her a lot at first. And he see the troubles that she had mentally. I guess it scared him at times, but you know, he still didn't call the police on her and have her removed from his house when she crept in through the doggy door. Woof woof. Instead, they would play games, sex games, kinky games, because you know that's what they were doing. Dressing up. She was dressing up okay. Dressing up and play acting, just like she said. I'm Little Red Riding Hood. She got her little basket in her hand and little pigtails on. Yeah, she was playing a game, and he probably was playing a little boy, a naughty little boy. You can just imagine, right? Get the picture? I think that's what they were doing, even though he was a Mormon. Also, she became a Mormon too. So, she shouldn't have been doing all these things neither. Like it was all his fault. And the sex tapes that she made of him illegally, allegedly illegally, well, more for him for talking over the phone. Lesson 1, maybe you shouldn't have sex talk over the phone because you don't know who's going to be listening, and keeping it for future reference, for a trap of some kind. Hey, if you do this to me, I'm going to release these tapes and I'm going to send them to everybody. Oh, yeah. She was a whore. That's what I think. She was a whore. Well, that's okay being a whore if you want to make money out of it. But she sure didn't make much money at the restaurant. She was hardly there. And when she was there, she's working part-time. And I mean part-time because then she had to travel and go see all these guys. She was going from this state to this state, one part of California to the other part of California, you know, and so on and so on. That one time she was in this bar, restaurant kind of thing, that she had her tablet in there, her computer or something like that, because they had Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. And then she started chatting to this guy and telling him that her boyfriend is cheating on her. What boyfriend? Her boyfriend in Arizona is cheating on her. And, you know, She don't have much money. She don't have any money. And I can't remember what she said to him or what she wanted to do. She was just stating the fact about her cheating boyfriend. But money must have came into it because he lent her some money. I don't know, $400 or so that he lent her. And she said that she would give it back. Now this guy, I don't know if she knows him because he stated that he don't really know her. But he has seen her in there a few times. I don't know how many times, but I guess once you see somebody in there day after day or once a week, I guess you're a regular. And she was always on that computer. Well, what happened to that computer? Never to be seen again. Nobody said they found a computer or anything like that. But she had one. Now, obviously, she got rid of that computer, didn't she? She tore that thing up, got rid of the disk, you had to get rid of all that information you got on your computer. It will track you down. It'll track where you've been. It's like Google Maps, They know exactly where you've been on your computer and what you've been looking up, who you've been talking to. Well, obviously, she sent emails because we know. I don't know how many emails there was, but there were thousands upon thousands upon thousands of emails, plus texts and everything. So, she got rid of her computer. She dumped that thing. Who dumps your computer unless you got something to hide? Oh, yeah, she had something to hide. What do you think was on that computer? Remember when she said Travis was looking at these photos on the bed, like sprawled out on the bed, and she could see, I don't know, she threw the paper or something and it just floated away and it floated and floated and floated on the bed and she could see it was a little boy. Oh my God, ridiculous. But anyway, and then she proceeds to say that he's into little boys, but she didn't want to tell anybody that. He was in little boys. Really? I just think it was the other way around. She's the pervert. She's the molester. She's got the sick mind. Yeah, they were play acting, they were doing that or the other. Who doesn't do that? Who hasn't done that in the past? Who hasn't played silly games, strip poker, and all kinds of things in your lifetime? I mean, what happens behind four doors or the four walls, is your business, okay? But look what happens when somebody ends up dead. And then you can't speak for yourself. And so the other person can just say what they want because who's there to prove you're wrong when they're dead and you're the only one? It doesn't mean they're 100% believe you, but it will put doubt in somebody's mind about the other person. Was he or wasn't he? Was he? But the thing is, nobody else came forward and said, oh yeah, he used to do these crazy things and tie me to a bush in the park and, and make me wear pigtails and make me talk like a little girl. It's all sexy, you know. Yeah, nobody seems to have come forward and said stuff like that. Well, maybe they're not going to because, If you ain't got no proof, they're not going to say nothing. You're not going to add to it. They're just going to say what they got to say in court as a witness. Unless they find out something different, that you don't need to say anything, whatever happened. Obviously, you know, the few girlfriends he did have, he was in trouble with the church because of it. Oh, yes, he was. But did he stop? No, he didn't stop. Well, he's a man. He's 30-something years old. You know, it's time that he got married or something. So he didn't have to, you know, go around secretively. But he wanted fun. You know, he wanted fun too, but he also wanted his religion. But you can't have it always. But one thing you keep quiet is you keep your sex life quiet. I mean, watch what you do, kind of thing. If you don't want nothing to get out till you meet the wrong girl or the wrong man. Works both ways. And then we'll just talk a little bit about the gun. The gun that belonged to her grandmother or grandfather's, but you know, is in her grandmother's house. Jodie stated that she never held a gun in her life. Never held a gun. Don't have a gun. But she had shot a gun and held a gun. And the reason is we can prove that she's held a gun and had a gun because that time that the police came to her grandmother's house to arrest her that time, she had got a rental car again. These rental cars that she keeps renting is, you know, costly, but this woman don't work, you know. Well, if she is working, she's picking up some good tips. What's she doing for those tips? Yeah, I can just imagine. But she wasn't ugly, do you know what I mean? She's such a flirt. But anyway, she had a gun, didn't she? Oh, yeah, this is where she was going. She was going on a camping trip or a hunting trip. No, I think it was a camping trip or something with some boys, some men. What do you need that for? Oh, protection, because you know she's going with a bunch of men or something. Oh, protection. Oh, thought you didn't have a gun. You know, you got a license for that? You know, blah, blah, blah. So, why would you want a gun for protection and you've never shot one before and you've never held one? What the hell are you going to do with the gun? First of all, you got to know how to point and shoot and load. Oh my God, what a liar. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, the trip to Arizona, Mesa, Arizona. Well, first of all, before she makes that trip, you know she goes to her ex-boyfriends, the one she used to live with and own a home with. You know, her boss at one time. Yeah, of course. Yeah. She has to go visit him. And apparently just before that, they had already had a burglary in the house, of course, and the guns were missing, and the VCR is missing, and a few other things is missing. Not much, I guess. You know, just a few, you know, just the important stuff, you know, just enough. She goes to her ex-boyfriend's and then spends some time with him talking about I don't know what. And then, oh yeah, she's asking him. It's a long way from where she lived. Okay, a long way. She goes way out of her way to go to his house for a 5-gallon gas tank. You know, those plastic containers. Well, gee, by the time you got all the way down there and everything and spent the money in gas, you could have bought yourself one at Walmart. which apparently she did go and buy another one at Walmart. But there was a reason why she went there. There was a reason. By this, I think she was kind of lost her mind too. She was so obsessed. She's about to do what she's about to do. So maybe it was just a goodbye. Get him on her side. Tell him how much she loved him and everything. And sorry for it didn't work out and all that bullshit. And then she says, oh, something about the VCR. Well, anyway, he ends up with the VCR and the remote control was in the car. She came back. After she left, she came back because she forgot the remote control to the VCR. Well, it wasn't her VCR, was it? And what was a remote control doing in her car? Her rental car, that is. Well, anyway, we just think that was the missing VCR. Which it probably was, and it was proven it was, but it probably didn't come up too much in court because it was just a little bit of nothing. It was nothing to argue about. But, they can't prove it 100%. But he had to tell the truth on the stand, and he did mention the VCR. And she came back and gave him a remote control. So there you go. That's what's missing at her grandmother's house. Well, anyway, on and on and on. She goes to Mesa, and obviously he's surprised, or whatever. She surprised him. But anyway, he still lets her in, and they have mad, passionate sex. Well, maybe they didn't have sex. Maybe they just fooling around. Do you know what I mean? Like she said, you do it that way, that don't count, You know what I mean, guys? And all this other stuff. But then she proceeds to take photos. Oh yeah, I'm just taking a few photos with your new camera. I'm just checking out, the lighting and stuff. I'll take a few photos, but I'll erase them. I'll erase them. Just want to have a little fun. Obviously, they're having a lot of fun because they're both naked. Okay? And she knows, because she probably asked, where's your roommates? Are they going to work or where are they going? General talking, just to get info. So she knows exactly what's going on because she's going to go for the kill soon. So she probably gets dressed and does whatever she does, puts her shoes on. This is why she had her hair in braids, in those plaits, and her hair done up so it doesn't like fall all over the place, because she's going to make sure that her hair is not going to get any blood on her or get anything on her, whatever the case may be. So she gets herself ready. I think that's where she gets herself ready first, and then at some point he gets into the shower. So she's already got her shoes on, ready to go, gets the gun out of her bag and the knife, because she didn't go nowhere without that knife. She had that knife. She went downstairs and got it while he's in the shower. She got the knife. She got the gun. And she came in with the camera, with the knife, and with the gun. I don't know which order, whether she had the gun and the camera, or she had the knife and the camera, because I can't see that she can hold all three things at one time. So, but when he was in the shower, that you see that reflection in his eyes. You could see she's holding something in one hand and another, and something in the other. At one point, when he's in the shower or something, he had been stabbed. You could see that. I could see he was holding his chest so tight. Then he had some red stuff dripping down. So she had stabbed him, And then I think he just looked at her, but I don't know which point he decided that he was going to fight for his life, because at some point he got out of that shower and got to the sink, and she stabbed, whatever she's doing, stabbing, and then she's just stabbing, and he's really not doing nothing. Well, I don't know what he was doing, but I mean, why couldn't you get the knife? She's already stabbing you. Even if you cut your hand halfway off, at least you can get the knife from her. But anyway, at some point, he's getting all these stabbings in the head, in the back while he's leaning over the sink. And then he's trying to get in the hallway, and you know what she said. She was standing there. Well, first of all, she made out it was two ninjas, a boy and a girl, and they were deciding what they're gonna do with both of them, you know. And it was her saying that. Whatever she said in court, that these two ninjas or whatever in the first place was saying, is because they were true words she was speaking. It was her, and not the made up version of another woman the same height and another man the same height as him. Oh, yeah. You're talking about yourself and Travis. That's not hard to do. Description. Oh, they were about my height, about this, about that. And they were white. Well, yeah, they were white. But anyway, after the fight, down the hallway. And then at some point, she shot him. She shot him, and he still was going. Oh, he was going to attack her. He was going to kill her. Yeah, he was. He was half dead already. My God. He's just been shot in the head. He's been stabbed in the heart. He's been stabbed all over his body. Yeah, he's a threat to you. At that point, I think you would have been out that door and called 911, wouldn't you? Yeah, here goes the 911 call again. But no, she didn't do that. Well, first of all, she said it was two people, in these two ninjas in there. But anyway, we know it wasn't. But if he was, when she did really confess and say, this is what happened, but she don't remember exactly which order it happened in, he was such a threat to her when he was half dead that she could have ran out the house and called 911. When she shot him and he wasn't dead, and she thought, oh my God, this man won't die. What the hell? And then she, slit his throat. And of course, that was it. It was all over then. She made sure she put that knife in his neck, made sure he's dead once and for all. And then, of course, she took him to the shower and then dumped his body in the shower and rinsed him off a little bit and shoved him in there. And then got her stuff and walked calmly out the stairs, out of the house, and into her car. Well, that's funny, because you know what? She's got her shoes and everything on, but there's no blood nowhere. So either she put something on her feet or she took her shoes off to go down the stairs, which that's probably what she did. I don't know if there was any blood outside the house leading anywhere, because it had been days. They didn't find him for 5 days with 2 roommates in the house, but they're male people. They're men, single men. What's that smell? Oh, I don't know. Must have been some trash left somewhere, or the dog. Blame the dog. But anyway, because they're not thinking he's there. They're thinking he's gone. He's supposed to be in some exotic island, enjoying himself with the rest of the team. See, here's another cult, going on. He's selling in a big speaker. Well, anyway, and then she keeps going and going and going until she hits the desert and goes 100 miles out of her way. And then she calls Travis on the phone, inviting him to California to the movie or something. And then she went 100 miles out of her way. Thank you very much. That's what she said. Thank you very much. She blamed the dead man for her going 100 miles out of her way. What? Anyway, in the desert, this is where she gets rid of the guns somewhere. She either goes to some kind of McDonald's restaurant or somewhere because, you know, she had to get gas at some point. But remember, she had the gas tank, so she was using that to get out of the state and to be in a safe area where she can use a real gas station. But she threw away them clothes and that gun in some dumpster somewhere. Oh yeah, it's somewhere out there, and it's never to be seen unless some person stumbles over it, which is not likely, but you never know. These things do happen. Miracles do happen. But it doesn't matter anyway if they find the gun or not at this point. So then you know the story, guys. You know, she goes on and on and on and goes to the boyfriend, and then she goes to another woman's home, and who she's supposed to be meeting up. And she meets him and gives him a little hug and a cuddle, and they sit down on the couch and do whatever they do, you know, a little kissing. I thought, yeah, okay, well, she had to play the part. Well, she was supposed to be meeting him in the first place. She wasn't even supposed to be going to Mesa, Arizona for these 3 days. But anyway, then she leaves and obviously goes home like nothing had happened. Calm and cool and collective. And then the phone calls, and then the bodies were found, you know, 5 days later because, or whatever, because somebody said he didn't show up where he's supposed to, and his roommates thought that he'd gone already. And the other girl he was supposed to be meeting up with because he invited her along, they're like, they haven't seen him. So that's when they go in and find his body dead in his bedroom. Rotting away, you know, because he'd been there for 5 days or so. I mean, you know, it's warm in Arizona, you know. And then she proceeds to go on like nothing happened. Goes to his funeral, even though his friends said it's her. She's done something. It's her. They named her right off the bat. But, you know, the police have to prove it. Well, time goes on. And she's at the funeral. And she's just, you know, saying whatever she's saying, doing whatever she's doing. Oh my God. They don't even want her there. Do you know, if that was me, you know, I would give them the big FU, and you're not wanted here. My God. I'm sure they talk that way, you know, they're Mormons, but they're normal people. They can, you know, maybe they don't like to be mean. But anyway, I would have. Especially if I thought she killed my brother. I'll be like, get out of here. You're not welcome. Go away. So, and then, you know, time goes on, and, you know, when I go back to the beginning, what I was talking about earlier, when the detective came to her house when she was at grandmother's house and she was about to take off in a rental car and had a gun in her car, and God knows what else she had in the car. And that's when they arrested her, and the detective from Arizona came, and you see the famous interrogation, you know, that big interrogation, and those weird things she was doing. And then, of course, we see her on the TV news, you know, crime, and all those people are coming out the woodwork to interview her and get her side of the story. Boy, couldn't this woman talk? Oh my God. And when you look back at those videos, I mean, she was 28 years old at that time. Her little baby face she had, she still had that chubbiness on her cheeks, because she looked a bit younger than she was, and all that and the other. And then as time went on, that 1 year, then the next year, then the next year, then the next year, boy, she was aging fast, even though she was losing, like I call her little baby fat on her face, like maturing, like you do. I thought, boy, but she's going, enjoying her life, learning Spanish. Now she's teaching Spanish, teaching Spanish to people in prison. Like most of them can speak Spanish already, for Christ's sake. That's how she learned Spanish. And she had all this free education, She was in there for 4 or 5 years. She got well educated on everything because, she's that smart. She's smarter than you or me or anybody. She's smarter than anybody. She will not have it if you tell her she ain't smart in any subject, because she'll prove you wrong. And so the court case goes on and on and on and on and on. And I really enjoyed that court case. I just didn't enjoy her sitting on that stand for 18 days. Oh my God, and num, slow talking. He just went on and on. I know he's earning a lot of money, but my God, 18 days. Oh, that dragged on. That was too much. Oh, come on. 18 days. I couldn't get over that. But anyway, Juan made up for it, because he's Speedy Gonzalez. He gets blah, 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 blah. He's getting it out there, all the words. He just didn't make no mistake. Yeah, he's pretty good. But he's a fast talker and a fast thinker. He thinks fast. And so the trial goes on and on and on and on. And then we get a guilty. Yay! And then we don't. No, they went for the death penalty. But I just didn't think they would get the death penalty, because even though heinous of a crime it was, what's the point of doing a death penalty anymore? Just give them life. You can have a trial, but just give them life, like 200 years. Nobody's living past 100 these days, not too many people. So 200 years is plenty of time. That means they're never getting out in 200 years. So death penalty, I thought, oh no, I shouldn't go for that, because now she's got some jurors on her side. As we know, the jurors were talking after that they knew something was going on. They wanted this one out and this one back in. And that guy is the one that said no to the death penalty because he liked her. Yeah, he was one of them fools that was fooled. He was fooled. But he did, he did say she was guilty. So, he did do the right thing at the first voting. But the second one, he didn't vote for the death penalty. So then it has to go to the judge. This is going on and on, weeks and weeks and weeks again. Then a little mini trial, for a couple of weeks or how long it went on for. And then the judge makes her decision after everybody's spoken and said that, the families have spoken and said what they got to say. And then Jodie Arias has said what she had to say, all these things she can do in prison. Oh, she wants to start a recycling program. She will grow her hair long and have it cut for, cancer patients, little kids or something, so they can have some hair. Oh God, who'd want her hair off her head? No, that's one woman that you don't want to take the hair from. Oh my God. Oh no. But anyway, you know, and she can teach Spanish. There's so much things that she can do in prison. Well, why the hell you didn't do it when you was out of prison? You know, instead of chasing after Travis, trying to kill him, which you did. In the end, you did kill him. I mean, he probably had so many threats from you, he was scared of you. But, you know, he tried to help you. He gave you the car. He made a deal with you about his car that you messed up. I mean, he gave you money. He did this and that and that. He helped her a lot. And you know, when they choose which emails and texts they want to let in the courthouse, you know, in the courtroom for evidence, my God, they were edited. You know, little samples of stuff that could be taken out of context, you know, and leave room for doubt. Anyway, when the final day came, guilty. Oh my God, that was the happiest day of my life. Now we can shut her up and lock her up, never to be seen again. For Christ's sake, I just had enough of her face for the whole 2 years nearly that we had to listen to her trial. My God, it seemed that long anyway. So anyway, guys, what do you think about the Jodi Arias case? Let's discuss this. Did she drive you crazy? Was she the biggest lie you ever did hear? You know, all that kind of stuff. So, let's comment and let's discuss this video. Thank you.